Yellowstone Season 5 redeemed Beth for something that looked unforgivable in Season 4. Beth Dutton, Kelly Riley, did something in Yellowstone Season 4 that looked unforgivable at the time, but Season 5 redeemed her controversial moment. Beth engineers her fair share of controversy in Taylor Sheridan's neo-Western series, but one moment stands out against the rest as the time that Beth's mean streak went too far. Most of Beth's controversial comments happen around a business table where they are ideally suited. Sometimes Joan Dutton's Kevin Costner daughter takes her antics home, prompting some of Beth's most scrutinized Yellowstone scenes. Yellowstone Season 4 was hard on everyone, including Beth, at the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch. Each member of the Dutton family was affected by the multi-target attack on the clan, orchestrated by Jamie's, Wes Bentley, father and executed in the Yellowstone Season 3 finale. Cases: Luke Grimes, family fractures as Monica, Kelsey as Bill, and Tate, Breckenmerrill, process the trauma of Tate's kidnapping. Likewise, Beth processes the grief of experiencing an explosion and simultaneously almost losing her father. A new but challenging opportunity finds Beth testing her resolve amid her grief. As she waits to hear about her father's condition, Beth Dutton meets a 14-year-old boy named Carter, Finn Little, outside Bozeman General Hospital. Carter asks Beth what happened to her face. He laughs when she's rude to him, eventually telling her that his dad is dying. Beth tells Carter her dad is dying, too, and the two form a bond. Beth accompanies Carter to say goodbye as his dad experiences brain death, and she takes the kid in a few days later when Donnie Haskell, Hugh Dillon, brings him to the ranch, saying that Carter claimed Beth was his guardian. The moment when Beth takes in Carter shows her kindness. Still, John's daughter has moments where she falters in her parenting, which is ultimately understandable. Beth was mean to Carter when he was down at vital times, which was unpleasant on the first watch, like in Yellowstone Season 4, Episode 7. Beth rejects Carter's apology, saying, "I don't want those F***ing things," when he brings her flowers. Beth doesn't let up on the kid until Carter asks for a ride into town, saying he will take a chance on foster care over his current circumstances at the ranch. Beth later makes Carter cry in Yellowstone Season 4, Episode 10. As Beth passes through the barn, Carter casually remarks, "Morning, Mama." She responds, "Hey, baby," automatically before doubling back and telling Carter not to call her that. Carter tells Beth he thought he could call her Mama since she acts like his mom. Beth remarks that she's been acting like his friend and that his mother is dead, and he doesn't get another. Beth is unnecessarily cruel to Carter, but we're also hard-pressed to expect much else from Beth in Season 4, considering mothers and motherhood are touchy subjects. What's worse, when Carter starts to cry in Yellowstone Season 4, Episode 10, Beth tells Carter to stop because crying doesn't help. When looking at the previous episode, Beth Dutton's comment is a bit hypocritical. In Yellowstone Season 4, Episode 9, No Such Thing as Fair, Beth asks Walker, Ryan Bingham, to play her a song. She requests a melancholy tune because she needs to cry, but she's incapable of crying for herself. Therefore, Beth clearly understands the power of a good tear session. Still, she acts like Carter is wrong to do the same in the next chapter. In Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 12, Beth has a more nurturing moment with Carter that redeems her sometimes fiery demeanor from Season 4. Carter witnesses a tragedy in the episode, and Beth comforts him while he's crying in the barn. Earlier that morning, Carter was changing out the water bucket in an unruly steed's pen when he got trapped, at risk of getting stomped or trampled by the horse. Colby Mayfield, Denham Richards, saves Carter but dies suddenly as the horse tramples the more senior ranch hand instead. Carter is understandably torn up about Colby's death, blaming himself. In Counting Coop, Beth is intuitively comforting and nurturing about Carter's experience. She comes to sit with him on the floor and speaks softly before reaching out and tenderly grooming his hair, asking if he's blaming himself for Colby's death. Beth's demeanor contrasts her treatment of Carter in the past, evolving to comfort her symbolic son when he is grieving. While she couldn't properly support him in Yellowstone Season 4, Beth redeemed herself by finally treating Carter like her child in Season 5. Beth doesn't often show her unabashedly tender side, but Carter eventually draws it out. The moment between Carter and Beth in the barn proves two things. First, Beth faltered as Carter's mother figure. When Beth asks Carter if he's staying at the house because she would want to be with her family, Carter says he doesn't have a family. The moment when Beth corrects Carter, saying, "Of course you do," is a sweet exchange between them. But it shows that Carter feels he doesn't have a family, doubtlessly in part due to Beth's Season 4 comments. It also indicates that Beth fully accepts Carter as family, whether she considers him a son or not. In Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 14, Life is a Promise, the series finale, Carter joins Beth and Rip Kohlhauser on their ranch in Dillon, Montana. The couple started anew after Kay sold John Dutton's ranch to Thomas Rainwater, Gil Birmingham, and the Broken Rock tribe. As it became apparent that John's children would surrender stewardship of the land, it was unclear whether Carter would stay with Beth and Rip in their new home. However, in their ending Life is a Promise scene, Beth watches Rip and Carter at the new property, confirming they are a family. In Season 4, Beth tells Rip she thinks Carter might be their kid. Beth and Rip's Yellowstone spinoff can fully realize the intuitive bond Beth felt, continuing to build on her parenting evolution and explaining Carter's adoptive status. Even if the couple sees the boy as their own or wants to take on his guardianship permanently, Beth and Rip officially adopting Carter in Yellowstone could be unlikely. After murdering his father for killing his mother and brother, Rip found asylum on the Yellowstone ranch and was there beyond undocumented. Carter could similarly fly under the radar in the Yellowstone spinoff. In the vast and unforgiving world of Yellowstone, Beth Dutton has long stood as one of the show's most complex and polarizing characters. Ruthless, fiercely intelligent, and emotionally scared. Beth's actions often straddle the line between justified vengeance and outright cruelty. While fans have grown accustomed to her firebrand nature, Season 4 took things to an extreme, making her seem almost irredeemable in the eyes of many viewers. However, Season 5 managed to do something unexpected. It offered Beth a path to redemption, proving that even her most unforgivable moment could be reframed in a new light. The Season 4 incident, a step too far. Beth's unforgivable moment in Season 4 came in the form of her brutal takedown of Summer Higgins, the environmental activist, and eventual romantic interest of her father, John Dutton. Beth, ever the territorial daughter, saw Summer as an intruder and wasted no time in orchestrating her downfall. What made this particularly vicious wasn't just Beth's usual scorched earth tactics. It was how she manipulated the justice system to ensure Summer received a devastatingly harsh prison sentence. It was personal, it was cruel, and it left many fans questioning whether Beth had lost all sense of morality. This moment was especially difficult to digest because, unlike Beth's usual enemies, corporate moguls, land developers, and outright criminals, Summer wasn't an actual threat to the Duttons. She was just an idealist who got tangled in their world. Beth's vendetta seemed disproportionate, revealing a darkness in her that went beyond strategy or self-preservation. For many, it was the point where Beth transformed from a compelling anti-hero into someone genuinely irredeemable.